Now, I can't show much of Re:Zero, which is an anime I just started watching, but holy moly, there's a bunch of situations in this anime that just, ooh, have me pulling my hair. Oh my god. I can't stand these characters. Now, before, I'm sorry, I'm Team Rem and Subaru, so I'm like, really, I like Emilia, but I was kind of hoping that this would be one of those things where he's like chasing after this girl that clearly is just having him simp for her, and then later he realized he had a good woman all along, because he likes Rem, he's lusting after Rem, but he likes Emilia, but Emilia's like, oh thanks, when he admits that he loves her, and that's like the ultimate one that he wants, right? That was the first girl. The way it works in a lot of Asian shows, productions, is that usually the first girl that you go after is the one that you want. It's not really mainstream for it to happen the other way around. But damn, when Rem came out and she basically threw herself at him, I mean, she's been there for Subaru for a long time. Like, that is the best girl ever. And he's like, he wanted to run away with her. He was telling her, yo, come away with me. Let's get married. Let's do this. Let's do that. And she's like, that's not the man I fell in love with. You don't give up. You don't do this. She picked him back off of his emotional point of singularity that he was sinking into. And then, you know, after all of that, he's like, yeah, sorry, I love Emilia. You know that, right? Can you help me make her happy? I was like, bitch, what? What? Like, oh my god, I never freaking wanted to rage quit an anime so freaking hard. Like, I know we liked Emilia, but bitch, you just literally why am I getting mad? Anyway, so I know I'm so late to the party because a lot of people watch Re:Zero, but I just recently watched the freaking episode where he's in there trying to encourage Emilia, and holy god, oh my god, do you know what an emotional vampire is?
They're an advanced form of energy vampire, but instead of frustrating people around them for energy, they feed off of pity.
Emilia.
So you understand, because he lied to her, and I get it. I think she's an INFP, I am one as well. And one thing that really, really ekes us is lying. Do not lie to us. If you are somebody who say you love us, don't lie. Lying, it doesn't matter how small it is. If I can't trust you and be completely transparent with you and have you be completely transparent with me back, oh, it's done. I don't respect you anymore. I can't trust anything you say. So I completely understand where she's coming from in this, but then he's trying to tell her how much he loves her, and every time he does this melodramatic, total 100% angst, and it's annoying because he was doing the same thing with Rem, and now she's doing the same thing with him, and he's getting upset when he was doing the same thing, and it just became very exhausting. It wasn't romantic, it was exhausting. It went on way too long.
超綺麗なその金髪も好きだし、潤んでて宝石みたいな四魂の目も好きだし、聞くだけで夢心地になれる声も好きだし、スラッと長い手足。
So you're thinking, man, that's so beautiful, that's so romantic, the music is perfect, I just love this. And every time he tells her how much he cares about her, she hits him with the, yeah, but why do you feel like you're supposed to be mad at me? And then he says, yeah, I am mad at you, but I still love you. You can't love me if you're mad at me. Like, bitch, I really wanted to slap her and him off the freaking screen watching this.
身長差とか理想的すぎてたまらないし、一緒にいるだけでドキドキが止まらなくて、もうやばい。ちょっと抜けてるとこも好きだし、何でも一生懸命なとこ可愛いし、誰かのために必死になれるとこ尊敬してるし、自分のことを後回しにするとこはほっとけないって思うし、君の全部の表情を隣でずっと見てたいって思ってる。
Jesus, bro, you...
Like, are we serious? Are we serious? And this goes on for a while. It goes on for a while. I mean, and she's like, well, why would you forgive me for being so useless? He says, because I love you, you dumbass. And when you think she's gonna get it, and he keeps saying that he's head over heels in love with her, and he's trying to write her fucking poetry, and she's listening, and her eyes are all wet. She's like, that's selfish. You just name all the things that made me useless. Oh my god. You know, this whole scene starts from 16 minutes to 27 minutes. We had 11 minutes of this over-dramatized, super melodramatic, completely annoying and unnecessary scene from this character that I would have honestly just been like, you know what? I'm gonna come back. I love you. I'm gonna come back. I know he was trying to bring her from the brink of whatever she was doing, but Lord have mercy. Can you imagine them working long term? Can you imagine? Like, every argument is gonna be this. Oh my god, you didn't put the rice away. You don't love me, like, I'm like, dude, how are we supposed to be rooting for these two people when both of them obviously have some very horrible emotional issues and cannot handle people just giving them a freaking compliment or saying that they love them? Personally, just way too much baggage for me, and that's one of the things that I was just like really annoyed about. I love it. I love the anime, don't get me wrong, but isekai anime just seem to have this very annoying problem when it comes to the melodramatics of these love scenes. Like, goes on for way too freaking long, just like this freaking video. On one hand, I'm like kind of laughing because I'm like, it would be so funny if he was like, all right, you're right, and then he gets up and leaves. And then she'd be upset, but understandably, she just lost Puck, so I understand she's emotional, but good lord, she's also very dumb. I really hope that he ends up with Rem. That being said, I'll be upset, but of course, I'm not gonna get all weird if the creators are like, no, he's gonna end up with Amelia instead, even though he clearly has way more chemistry with Rem, in my opinion. I'm not gonna get all crazy like some people were with the My Hero Academia situation, where they are acting as though they're doing the creator a favor by blocking him on Twitter because he didn't like Bakugo and Deku end up together, which is really freaking weird to me.
We have a tweet here that simply says, Izuku Midoriya / Deku from My Hero Academia is straight. And there's a large portion of Twitter upset by that. I can't imagine why.
Dude, fans are crazy. I've never understood. Like, look at this tweet, right? The incident that sent a popular Undertale artist to the hospital because they ate the muffin that had a needle in it, which they got from a fan. Wow. What? First of all, I'm sorry, like, I don't care who you are. You're a special kind of naive if you're going to take food from random people sending it to you from all over the world that can't easily be traced. And even still, there are crazy people out there that have claimed that they were fans of someone, and then they'll praise someone on one account, and then on their alt account, tell the person off because they're freaking unhinged. Like, I don't understand why you would take food from someone, or why you would put something inside of your body that somebody else that you don't know sent you. Dude, you don't know half of these people if they're actually fans or if they're trying to kill you. Why would you eat from random strangers? That's so unfortunate that that happened, but my trust of people is so freaking low that I would never. First of all, people are like, oh, you should have a P.O. box. I am so freaking like, nah, I don't even want that. I don't want you sending me no freaking, I don't know. It would have to be a very special case, and it would have to be like in another country or a state way over from wherever, from somebody else, or a plant that I put somewhere else, because I have family to protect. I'm not, you send something to me, I sure as shit not gonna eat it. I'm not gonna give it to my dog. I see people taking fan mail that they have for their pets, and people are sending them treats for their dogs, and you just imagine, in your heart, you're imagining that everybody else loves your dogs on the same level that you do, and you just feed your dogs treats sent from random strangers. Like, that's just I always cringe when I see that. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Ooh, anyway, so I was looking at Hirohei's video, and he's talking about the My Hero Academia situation, and this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about in my other video, where you have a bunch of people who are supposed to be in facilities, mental facilities. Where are our tax dollars going towards erecting some of these things? Because there are people out here who cannot differentiate fantasy from reality and are sending threats to people because of things that their characters, that they're voicing 2D characters, are doing in a show. And make it make sense. Who are these things? And so we have this new fandom, right? And I get it. I also prefaced the whole thing with Subaru and Ilya and Rem, because that's how passionate. I want you to understand how passionate I am about it, but I also understand that it's fantasy. And if I don't get the ending that I want, yeah, I'm gonna rage and be like, oh my god, no, but I am not unhinged enough to go to the freaking creator's page or try to contact them and be like, yo, I hope you freaking die, bro. I hope you die because these two-dimensional characters didn't fuck. Yeah. So apparently, allegedly, we have the manga for MHA is finished. I have to continue. You see, I have to finish My Hero Academia because my husband and I started watching it together, and bro has a very bad habit. Yes, if you're watching this right now, I'm blowing up your spot, of starting a bunch of different anime and shows when we have not finished the ones we're watching. Took me freaking years to try and get you to finish watching Attack on Titan, and we still haven't finished that. But you want to start Dan and all this other stuff when we haven't finished the stuff that we've been watching. Jujutsu Kaisen, haven't finished that. Demon Slayer, haven't finished that. Spy X Family, haven't finished that. Uzaki-chan, haven't finished that. But to be fair, he said I can finish this one on my own when I asked him because he didn't like the way the next season was. But where I would just watch an anime to completion or just finish it off, nope, gotta wait years, and I'm not allowed to watch it by myself because that's cheating. Since we started it together, it's very infuriating. I love him to pieces, but Lord have mercy, oh my god. That rant aside, I fully expect now to get spoilers for stuff off the manga. I'm not allowed to read those either, by the way. Can't read the solo leveling stuff, can't listen to the audiobook. Nope, that's cheating as well. It's like a never-ending What if I die tomorrow, right? And I never got to finish. You're gonna feel so guilty, by the way. If I pass out or I die or end up in a coma or something, and if only you had let me watch the anime that we wanted to watch. But anyway, people are upset over the ending of MHA, and I honestly didn't expect him to end up with that girl, but what I did not expect, it was nowhere on my radar, was him and Bakugo ending up together. Where did they even get that from? So people here on this tweet are saying the ending of My Hero Academia is deeply rooted... I'm sorry, what? Is deeply rooted in misogyny, and we put too far much hope in a man? Okay. At the end of the day, Horikoshi is a man, and of course he's gonna give his main guy the girl in the end. It's Oh my god. Oh, the stupidity is fucking me up. Oh, it's killing me. Oh my god. Did you really... I can't even say did that come out of your mouth, because I could have understood if you misspoke. Things happen. I do it all the time. But you really wrote this and thought you ate. Like, what are you doing? I'm a woman, and at the end of the day, when it comes to my stories and my novels, guess what? My main characters end up with their female main characters. I have gay characters in my story too sometimes, but I don't mostly write that because I can't relate. Not saying I can't put my shoes or put shoes on in that regard. I can, of course. I'm very good. I love, as a matter of fact, writing characters that are very different from me. However, when it comes to romance stuff that I write, I mostly do straight characters. I just do. Because I like to put myself in that situation and imagine what that would be like, and I can speak from experience a little bit to inspire my story writing. So if it's his story and he's choosing to put those two characters together, what is your fucking issue? How is that misogynist? I don't even understand. Like, I've made the videos in the past, or just recently, right before this one, they're showing examples of what actual misogyny is like, or what it comes across as, or what have you, but I have still yet to get why his ending was misogynist. But it sounds as though this person is trying to say that the writer is misogynist because the main guy gets a girl. It's character assassination and shitty writing, but we were naive to expect more. I honestly don't even know what to say. I feel like slapping the shit out of myself. I don't even understand. This person has to be joking. No, this is a troll. This can't be a real person saying this, man. Then someone apparently replies to them and says, I know dang well you were not speaking on misogyny right now. And the person before that made the previous post is like, I'm gonna need 100 cheating fix. I don't care. I'm done. I need Brokeback Mountain in this bitch. So you want Izukatsuki cheating fix? Okay. So what it sounds like this person means is that they want these two characters to get together and have Midoriya cheat on his girlfriend with Bakugo. Thank you for your commentary. But you're also talking about how the writer is misogynist, but you're willing to have the characters break her heart and cheat on her behind her back. You see what I mean? People think that we're joking when we say that the people who are claiming and yelling and squawking the loudest that they're the most progressive people or trying to put on that little vest of righteousness are usually anything but. They are the most icky people that you'll ever freaking meet, because they will say, oh, I'm super progressive, women's rights, cheat on that bitch because the two guys and end up together. You didn't even use an alt account, you used the same account. You used the same account to completely contradict contradict what you stood for in the previous post. That is wild. Wow. You cannot make this up. That's why I talk about this shit, because it's funny as hell. It is so entertaining to watch people like this just, first of all, lose their freaking minds over nonsense, and then completely contradict themselves in the next sentence. So people are just hazing this person, saying like she wants to paint herself as a feminist so badly here when she's doing the exact opposite. And with Yuradaka as a profile pic is crazy too. Like, double standards is crazy. LMAFO, if my gay and lesbian ships are not canon, then the author is misogyny. How can the author act like he knows the series? They can't be serious. Yeah, I'm so glad people are here hounding these people, because they obviously deserve all the pushback that they're getting, because this is crazy. So then Hater posted up another tweet. Somebody rage posted. It said, you know, the person I guess is saying this in the post, you know, I think she means to say, if I think I gave Horikoshi too much credit, I kept thinking there's no way he'd be so homophobic as to kill off the queer woman just to shove the woman she loved into a het romance. And now looking back, I feel like a dumbass because this was his attempt at trans femme. What the frick is a trans femme? Where are these freaking new terminologies? It's like they're getting them off of the freaking Christmas tree. What the hell is that? Trans femme. Okay, and the queer woman died. And do you know how many anime have queer women and queer people coming together? Like, what is your issue? Why is that homophobic? To kill off a character that just happens to be gay. Now, I do understand in some representations, they will shove a gay character just in there to be gay on purpose, just so they can kill them off. I do get that. I've seen that happen. But is there any indication that the girl that Midoriya's with was gay? And like I said in the beginning with the anime situation, usually the first girl, or if there's a little bit of a chemistry going on with the first girl that's very close with the male main characters, either there's going to be a love triangle with them, the two male characters, the female character, and there's usually another character that likes the girl character. But usually the first girl that's in the picture is going to be the one ending up with the main character. You must be new to anime. It's just weird how they completely default to homophobic and misogyny when it has nothing to do with that. But then here's the thing. You want to know how they're going to do a gotcha at the creator? Wait till you hear their plan. They're gonna all unite and block him.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
And then everybody clapped. Oh my god, such a great idea. You're actually doing him a favor. So I agree, go block that dude. And they're like, oh, Bakugo and Deku were all yearning after each other and there's intimate sketches with them. Like, bro, is it possible that y'all are probably reading a little bit too much in it? I mean, I get that there is some chemistry. You could see things like, okay, I could see that. But is it possible that people who see two girls and two guys that are being friends might just be friends? Remember, Japan is a very different place and people are a lot more open with certain things, especially male and male relationships. So you pushing your entitled American way of looking at things or Western way of looking at things might not be what applies there. Furthermore, these are the same types of people that if it's a male and a female, they'll be the first ones to be like, not every male and female has to be in a romantic relationship. They can be platonic, they can be friends. But when it's the same sex people and they're clearly just starting off as friends, why are they not in a relationship? I mean, come on. Now, I will give them that if it's an undeveloped hetero or just undeveloped relationship, whether it's same sex or not, I understand how that would be very stupid. I don't like that either. And I think that it's important no matter what the relationship, that it actually feel natural. But I can't attest to that because I'm not allowed to read the manga. I haven't been allowed to watch the rest of the show. What the fuck? Oh, hell no. I don't know what that was. I'm just using footage from this and I see that shit. Nope, don't know what that is. Not gonna even, nope. Whew. Anyways, as I was saying, what was I saying? Scared the shit out of me. Yeah, if there's not a developed relationship between two characters, regardless of what their orientation is, I will agree, you can definitely criticize that. That makes sense. And I would have an issue with that as well. But chalking it up to the person being misogynistic because the main male character ended up with one of the first female characters that we saw on the show that clearly was alongside them for the ride is kind of silly. It's like, you're mad, but then you're calling someone something based on what? He's misogynist based on what? The girl that you didn't want him with ended up getting him in the end too. So how was that misogynist? She won. I don't get these people. So the original fake feminist person says, sales. The average straight male My Hero Academia fan owns minimal merch. Perhaps a few figures here and there. Maybe the manga. Really? How do you know that? Are you in each and every one of their rooms? Do you get around that much that you know? Have you tested all of them by going over to their house and opening up your legs so that you could see the inside of their bedroom to take a freaking consensus? Like, how did you arrive at that conclusion? Anyway, then the person says, but the queer neurodivergent community that has fixated on the manga for years due to its breaking the status quo, showcasing queer characters, and pushing a message. That makes those who have been casted aside in society feel safe. We are the ones buying a large portion of merch, promoting the anime and manga, etc. Without these marginalized community, MHA would not have gained nearly as much popularity. Okay, if you say so. Wow, the Delulu, man. It is strong with this one. They continue by saying, however, it's those communities that are victim in this unprecedented ending that has opened the floodgates of dude bros to spew hate, sending death and RP threats to queer shippers. And
what the fuck are you talking about, man?
Okay, I can't even, man. I feel like I'm losing brain cells reading this shit. I don't know what this person is on. If they bent over and pressed their freaking lips against their back bussy and they're just huffing whatever's coming out of that fucking cannon. But bro, sis, whatever you might be, you need to chill. Maybe you need to stay off of Twitter for a few days and reevaluate. Get some fresh air, take your head out of your ass so you can actually breathe actual fucking oxygen. And then rejoin the rest of society when your brain now is functioning on all cylinders if you have that. Because goddamn. People on Reddit are even talking about it. I'm sorry, for everything that I watch of MHA, no, I haven't read the manga, but there is no situation ever. Can there be fanfic about Baku and Deku? Yeah, sure. But there is no instance whatever did I ever see anything remotely homosexual between the two. Someone says, I heavily disagree, lol. The amount of people that say the following things is insane. Their sexualities were never confirmed, so they're straight. They're reasonably bisexual. They're so gay for each other. Izuku has acted gay so many times. What does that mean? Oh, so they aren't straight. Wow. And this person says it's fandom culture. It doesn't actually mean people think it's true. Yeah, if they're sending death threats and saying they're gonna block the creator and then getting viscerally angry at them to the point where they take it so personally over a freaking fantasy universe, then yes, they think it's true and they don't know how to differentiate fantasy from reality. And it must mean that they are very lonely in their lives or very socially awkward or incels because you have no idea how to talk to the opposite sex or to people in general for you to think that this is acceptable behavior and normal. I'm also curious what these intimate settings are. I remember there was a story with this, I think it was an African-American man or Caribbean, I don't remember, but he married this Asian woman, I believe she was Korean, and her father just was not okay with that because he's very old school and prejudiced against anybody who doesn't look like them, and this guy, this dark-skinned guy, won him over. He kept on being polite, he kept on trying to have a relationship with the father, and until the father finally, and this is an old ass Asian guy, he finally was like, man, I don't want to like him. I do like him though, he's a good man. And then you see the father-in-law and this dark-skinned guy holding hands walking down the street. I can't find the video now, it was many years ago, but it was very sweet because, you know, the son-in-law is feeding him with a spoon and, you know, they're very lovey-dovey and they're holding hands, and that's completely okay in their culture. Like, it's not a big deal. And if many people are looking around and say, oh, they're gay for each other. What? No. It is completely possible that it is you projecting your own biases and Western ideals on other cultures. I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to be against, you freaking colonizer? Anyway, like my passion-filled rant in the earlier portion of this video about ReZero, I think it's totally acceptable for you to be that invested in these characters that you feel emotionally distraught when the characters that you want to end up together don't end up together. That's completely fine. That means that the person who made the show or the anime or the movie has done their job in making these characters feel real. But at the end of the day, you have to remember that it is not real. Like, I actually had a situation where I was writing these characters, right, for a story, and, you know, it was on a website that people can actually leave comments and stuff, and I can get feedback and whatnot, and people were hating on the male character. Funny enough, when my female character did the same things, nobody cared, but when the male character was just being honest with her, wasn't even being mean, he was just being blunt, oh my god, he's so dumb, I can't stand him, blah, 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 wishing violence upon the guy, right? He did win them over in the end, but there was a clear double standard there with what they allowed. Anyway, I was okay in the space with people hating on my character, even though I was like, really? This poor guy, he hasn't done anything. The girl has done worse, but whatever. Where I did actually remove someone's comment and block them because I don't need that kind of disrespect in my space is when she came out and commented,
it says a lot about the author if she's criticizing people being fat
or some shit like that. And I'm like, bitch. Okay, first of all, I don't care if you hate the characters. All the characters are different. They each have their own personalities, each have their own views. They're not all exactly the same. That's part of what makes a good story, and characters mesh well when they can interact and debate with each other. And now you're trying to personally come and fucking attack me because I'm making characters that say something that you don't like. Get the fuck off my platform. And I block that bitch. I do not care. You can go say that shit somewhere else. Don't come here and attack me as the author for building a story. Leave your freaking feelings at the door. You can have emotion. Everybody else was vibing and everybody else agreed too. They were like, yeah, that shit's uncalled for. Like, I had to put a freaking disclaimer in my story thing. Like, yo, if you're not able to differentiate fantasy from reality, maybe this shit isn't for you, because there's a lot of triggering stuff in my stories and shit gets real. I like that stuff. That stuff gets raw. People say shit that people might not like. People will offend people in the freaking book. It's a story. The characters are not real. Just because I'm writing a villain that is saying some horrendous shit doesn't mean I myself believe that shit. Like, if you cannot compartmentalize, which a lot of these people reading these books, they have a hard time doing, which means they weren't socialized very well, or they lack comprehension skills. If you cannot compartmentalize and say, man, I'm reading a book, this ain't real, this is fantasy, and when I close the book, real life is what I'm seeing and experiencing right now, then you need to go get fucking help. Blocking someone because you're mad, or sending threats against someone because their fantasy characters that you were enjoying for the past few years made you upset because of what was written. Bro.
Listen, are you on? Like, for real, what the fuck are you on? Like, what medicine do you take? Because it's like really crazy. It's getting crazy.
And you know damn well, if it were to be the other way around and people were to come down on them for their art or things that they said, they'd be so unhappy. They'd be like, I can't handle this. Oh my God, I'm being marginalized. Like, they're the first people to cry victim. But yet, you have all this energy for other people. It's funny. The people who dish it out the hardest cannot handle it coming back to them. Anyway, I just find that very funny. Very, very entertaining. That being said, I don't mind that I got the spoiler for MHA. I guess we'll see what happens if I ever get around to freaking watching it. But yeah, very good anime. I imagine the manga is probably even better because they follow the source material very clearly from most anime that I've seen. But now this just makes me really eager to see it come to fruition.
My Hero Academia 431 is fake. Horikoshi confirmed it. It's not canon. I do not mean to rain on anyone's parade, but that is not what he said in his letter at all. To summarize what his letter said, he said that 429 was the ending. 430 were the curtains closing. 431 is his chapter that he wrote outside of drama and just letting the characters be happy. So yes, it is still canon. But I just wanted to clear that up because the chapter is canon. It's real. Sorry.